And welcome back to another video. Today it is Hades versus Jörmungandr. So this is the eldest of the Trinity within the Greek pantheon, or at least the eldest son, because I think Hestia, Demeter, and Hera, I think, were born before them, but not in that particular order. You're gonna have to correct me on that one. But Hades is the eldest of the big three. Let's just put it at that, right? So intelligence, fighting ability, and battle IQ. I mean, again, Hades being older than Zeus, not to mention being the god of an entire realm, pretty much, right? Puts him at, again, fairly high intelligence, right? Again, also being older than Zeus also makes, gives him a little bit more intelligence because he's experienced more things. Fighting ability and battle IQ, he was able to kind of match Kratos with his claws of Hades. So with I don't know what without melee weapons, don't really quite know the extent of his fighting ability, but with like any sort of hook and chain sort of thing, he is incredibly skillful with using it, and especially in a combat situation. Strength. This one's difficult because Hades at this point has Atlas's soul and therefore has absorbed his sort of like his strength, and he was kind of able to match Kratos too. But this is at the beginning of God of War 3, not towards the end, so it's a little different. I think this one I know I'm gonna get flack for, but I'm gonna give it to Hades. Again, Hades, I think, out of the big three, is probably the second strongest based on feats, at least within the game. And he's, again, top three most powerful Olympian deities. He's in the top three, so I don't know. Speed can definitely go to Jormungandr. Um, Hades isn't really. He's usually in a more bigger form. Like he's not in like the Titan, or he's not like in a. He's not in his like giant form like Ares is. He's in a bigger form, but he's not like Ares. He's like probably what 2 times the size of Hercules, which is still big, but not like the size of Ares or Zeus. When they were in God of War 1 and 2 respectively. Jormungandr, even though he is, it's a large, he's a giant. Jormungandr is still able to move fairly quickly, even for its size. Hades hasn't really shown such great speed feats in terms of travel speed or movement speed at all. Durability. This is interesting because Hades does have a noticeable healing factor that the other gods don't, quite frankly, have. Um, and Jormungandr again got punched 3 times the ball and got knocked out. As far as able to see, Jormungandr got hit twice by Mjolnir, and the second time he got sent back in time. As far as what was shown in game, again, we don't quite really. And this is the thing, we don't really quite know the extent of Jormungandr's power. We really don't. There are feats that he has in game, like he has a strength feat where he moves the bridge. But outside of that, he really doesn't have anything else. Um, so, as far as durability is concerned, at least, I'd give a slight edge to Hades. Invulnerability, I'll give that to. Uh, I'll give that to Jormungandr. Again, for the same reason, just the scales are tougher. Hades' skin can easily be cut. Jormungandr's is a little bit tougher. Again, the fact that Mjolnir can hit it and his like body isn't separating into pieces shows he's got fairly good invulnerability. Energy projection AP. Well, Hades has soul manipulation, and he can also summon souls, and he can manifest things like Cerberus and stuff like that. Which I guess goes more under versatility. And the X Factor and hacks, I don't know. Like, to be honest, as I said before in the Zeus video, and maybe even in the Ares video, Jormungandr has virtually no abilities. He has nothing. Hades at least has some, right? And now with the X Factor, now this is even more interesting because can the poison kill the god of the underworld? From Hades is the, I think, secondary representation of death, with Thanatos being the primary one, right? Which makes sense. So trying to kill a god whose godhood pretty much is about death. I mean, not that, Kratos did it, but would poison from the world serpent be able to kill Hades? I just, again, against Ares and maybe Ares and Olympians who are not as powerful as Ares, that would make sense. But against the big three, that is a big gamble. Not to mention, this is another thing, and this is where the X Factor comes in. Hades has he has the hooks. He has the claws of Hades. Could he absorb Jormungandr's soul? Which, from what we now know, is officially a giant's soul. Right? He could, again, it's soul magic. I honestly think I actually give the X Factor, just for that, it's soul manipulation. That's the thing. Jörmungandr will have absolutely no idea what to do, especially if he's weakened. Right? I think, like, could Jormungandr take on someone like Kratos at the beginning of God of War 1? Yeah, probably could. But against a big three, it's just not possible. And I think the next one's Poseidon. So, yeah. It's all things considered, I don't think there's really much that Jormungandr has that could really counter Hades. And Hades' god, again, being the god of the underworld, grants him so many different abilities. And I'll throw that on top of the soul, like the soul absorption, which also increases his power. I think it's quite clear as to who would probably come out on top in this hypothetical battle. So the winner is Hades. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave any insight in the comment section below. I would greatly appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, and see you in the next one.